Welcome, everybody, to the first ever episode of Crown Point Football's Bulldog Bark. I'm Mark Zaselski, and today I'm joined by head football coach Craig Buzea. Coach, how are we doing today?
Ski, we're doing great. Happy to talk to you. Excited to get this rolling and excited to get our season off to a great start.
Well, can you believe it? It's already football time. Once again, it's the beginning of August and always a special time of the year for you.
It is. It's hard to believe. I mean, looking back of all the preparation that our kids have had, not only all the weight room work, but the installs that we do in the spring, and then you get the you get what what you could do in the summer, and then you get your practice, and it's about 40 times we've been together prepping for this first game, so we're excited to kick it off.
Well, we'll get to that first game in just a little bit, but let's quickly summarize a little bit about how things went last year. Obviously, you finished 10-1 on the season, 7-0 in the DAC, first undefeated season in decades, and first conference championship in decades too. So you're coming off a really good year from last year.
We are. I mean, I think we surprised some people. Taking over the program our second year, and first year went 5-5, and last year just played some unbelievable football. Really surprised some of our coaching staff as well. But our kids have worked hard and put them in a position to win each and every game, and play through a rough schedule. As we do with the DAC, and obviously we play Lowell and we play Andrean. That second game, was a state runner-up, and to run the table and go undefeated was quite a feat, and nevertheless. You look back at it, still have a sour taste in our mouth. We weren't able to really finish it the way we wanted to, and that's worked on giving us a little bit of ammunition for this year.
But what a statement, I think, not only for you and your coaching staff, but for the players. I mean, what a confidence boost for the program to go undefeated and win a conference championship.
It was. I mean, it just you set your goals, and that's one of the goals that you want to accomplish, but. To see it become a reality, and to be honest with dominating fashion. I mean, that was we didn't have a lot of close games, and our guys just came out every day, worked hard, and took every game serious. Never read your press clippings, and was able to finish off a undefeated season. So it's not as easy as our guys made it look, believe me. And I think most people that have had them know that there's a bunch of pressure that goes with it the longer you go, and you got to be able to close it out, and luckily our guys were able to do that. Well,
the end of the season brought you into the post-season workouts, and obviously into the summer, like you said, that you guys have been working really hard. A bunch of camps you had this summer, from youth camps to team camps. How did the camp season go for you?
I thought the youth camps were outstanding. They keep continuing to grow throughout the years. I think we had close to 400 youth campers this year in several different type of camps, and then obviously we have our varsity and freshman camps as well that that we hold, and again probably had close to 200 kids in those two camps too. So we thought it went real well. Obviously, the state allows you to do 5 controlled scrimmages now with different opponents, and we were able to do that. And we scrimmaged 4 teams from Illinois and 1 from Indiana and Elkhart High School. And we think, we'll find out on Friday, but we think it really helped us get ready for this upcoming season.
Now, you see the kids almost all year long anymore, but summer's always a good chance to kind of get a fresh look at some kids, see how they've grown. Any surprises, anything that you were really happy to see?
I think there's a couple kids that really stood out that maybe we were holding hope out, and one was a known quantity already, but I thought Drew Kroll, our senior linebacker, I thought did an outstanding job in the summer. Not only his quality of play, but his leadership and what he provides in that direction. And I think the other guy on offense was Cam Searcy, about a 6'4" wide receiver. He had just a heck of a JV season last year for our undefeated JV team, but we're hoping that he would be able to step up. We'll find out more obviously as we go, but we thought he had an excellent summer and really provides a nice 1-2 combination as far as wide receivers with Landon Delich.
players coming back, coaches coming back. Talk to me about your staff. Any new hires this year on the coaching staff?
Well, actually, we're good to go on our coaching staff, and I think that's a big part of our success is the consistency that we be able to have on both sides of the ball. So virtually, for 3 years now, we've had the same staff intact, and we know each other. It's one of those things where you don't have to have a meeting every day because everybody knows what my expectations are and of the program, and I just get out of the way and let those guys coach football, and they do a heck of a job.
Well, you're just a couple of days past your first, I guess, scrimmage. You scrimmage yourself. A lot of coaches always just want to get through that without any injuries or anything else. But the scrimmage was this past Friday at home. You had a good turnout for it. Tell me, what did you like about the scrimmage?
Well, first and foremost, like you said, we came out unscathed. My philosophy of the scrimmage is a lot different than a lot of people's. I've always been that guy that we believe the scrimmage is to get our up and coming guys ready for action. We have a handful of guys that this will be their third year starting. I don't need to see what they can do. Our summer was able to get those guys ready, but I want to see some of our guys that are coming up through the ranks and see if they can what they can do, what they can't do. I think we sat out 14 or 15 of our top players on Friday, and that allowed us to get a good look at some of the juniors and sophomores and even some freshmen and see how they did. And I thought they accounted themselves well, and I think we were able to find a couple of guys that maybe we weren't sure about or maybe had not looked that closely at, and they raised some eyebrows. So I think that's always good. And like I said, we came out healthy, and so for that part, the scrimmage was a success.
And now only a few days left to go before the start of the 2023 season, and it starts off with a bang as the Bulldogs will be going up against the longest rival in Indiana football right now. Over 140 years, you'll be playing the Lowell Red Devils, of course, playing for the leather helmet. Coach, you've had success the last couple of years. It wasn't always as good in the few years before that. I believe you guys, Crown Point, were on a 0-4 losing streak, but the last couple of years, you were able to beat Lowell. How much are you looking forward to this game?
Well, as always, I mean, not only is it our first game, but it's against a big rival. And I can remember the first time I took over, the first meeting I had with our players when I took over a couple of years ago in January. I simply just looked at them and said, "How many guys have ever raised your hand if you've ever been on a football field and beaten Lowell in a varsity football game?" And not one guy raised their hand. So that was something that was pretty telling right there. And at that point, we knew that was going to be one of our goals, was to beat them and to get off our season to a good start. And luckily, we've been able to do it. I think we beat them 28-14 my first year over there, and last year I think we got the better of them 42-0. So a tremendous respect for Coach Kilmer and what his staff does and how hard the kids play and how well they're coached. And and it's always a little bit more difficult when you go over to the Inferno. It's just a different environment. It's one of the few fields left that has natural grass, and it's just a completely different animal than what you're used to at home. So we're looking forward to it, and we know it's going to be a great challenge for us.
The guys have got to be looking forward to it too. Scrimmaging and playing 7-on-7 and all that kind of stuff in the summer is one thing, but to strap on the gear and go head to head in that first meet, they've got to be ready.
Oh, without a doubt. I think our guys are ready, and we call it football in pajamas. That's what we're doing in the summer, and now it's it's been full gear the last couple of weeks, and I think the exciting thing about the scrimmage was on Friday was right after it was done, we knew we had an opponent. We were able to look at some film from their scrimmage against Maryville. And what we saw on film was a very quality opponent, very good on the defensive line and linebackers. And I think they're much improved on the offensive side as well. So, we'll continue to watch film and go back in the last couple of games that they played last year and break it down and hopefully give our guys the recipe for success when we go over there on Friday night.
Now, obviously, one of the biggest shoes you'll have to fill this year is at the quarterback position. You're losing J.J. Johnson to graduation. He's one of the top quarterbacks in the state last year with incredible numbers and incredible leadership. Who's going to step into the role this year to fill J.J.'s shoes?
Well, we had a great competition during the summer. We had Noah Ehrlich and Logan Hatt both, did a fantastic job in the summer, and we feel good with either one of the guys going. But at this point, Noah Ehrlich will take the first set of snaps and see how it goes. But Logan definitely accounted himself absolutely in a great manner, and we wouldn't hesitate at all if we needed to put Logan in there as well.
Well, that first game, obviously, you want to see a win, but what are you hoping to see from the Bulldogs to get things started off on the right foot?
Well, as always, I think it's really important, that you take care of the football. I mean, we look back at our sectional loss last year. I mean, we had 3 turnovers in our first 10 games, and we end up having 3 turnovers in that game. So we're looking to get all the things out of our system that maybe sometimes that happens in first games, and we don't want to jump off sides. We want to line up right. We don't want procedure penalties. We want to take care of the football. We want to tackle well. Those things. It's those fundamental aspects of the game that we want to be sharp at, and we really don't want it to look like it's our first game. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach, it's been a pleasure today, and we look forward to every week talking with you on this Bulldog Bark podcast. It's a podcast. Is that a first for you?
It is a first for me. I've done a couple others, but our first, that's ours. So I'm looking forward to it. It sounds like we might be doing a few of these live as well at a remote location, and we want to give that a shout out. Hopefully next week when we do this again. But really looking forward to it. Hopefully our fans can listen to it and get some more insight that maybe they don't normally have, and at some point maybe get some of our players on as well and talk to them.
And of course, Coach, if anybody wants to be able to follow the Bulldogs, they can follow them on Twitter, or I guess it's formerly known as Twitter. It's called X now. But where can they find you on Twitter?
Twitter at CP Dogs Football, and same thing at Facebook, and we're also on Instagram, and we're also on the Twitter's competition now, Threads. So we try to be very, very active on social media, and we have accounts on all those, and as well as our Crown Point Football Touchdown Club has a Facebook page as well. So they don't have to look too hard to find us.
Well, lots of ways to follow the Bulldogs. And of course, you can follow us every week right here on Bulldog Bark, the only Crown Point football podcast where you can learn everything you need to know about the players, coaches, and games for the 2023 season. Coach, thanks a lot for joining us this week. Well, good luck in the game on Friday, and we'll talk to you again next week to wrap up the game and talk about the next game as well.
Looking forward to it, Ski. We appreciate it. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. And that'll conclude our first podcast. Thanks for joining us today. You're listening to Crown Point Football's Bulldog Bark.